the IRS has announced how they will utilize the $80 billion they received under the Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, what a joke that is just from the start. They're going to bring on 30,000 new employees over the next 2 years. They're also bringing on, this is where we get into the spying. They're bringing on data scientists. They don't say how many they're going to bring on, but they don't include that in the 8,700 enforcement agents. But what we know is a data scientist is out there to use, again, science and technology to try and find taxpayers that they want to go after with audits.
This data scientist, that bothers me. Yeah. I've read all the corpus of George Orwell, and that's coming true today. The thought police, they're going to come in here, put algorithms together, as our producer told. That wasn't new to me. That's Will Haynes came up with that, and he's absolutely right. And they're going to focus on us, and they're going to try to suck the blood out of everything that a small business makes. Well, the small businesses are the heart of America. The small taxpayers are the heart of America. I say to the IRS, leave us alone.
Do you think this is the way our resources should be used in the United States to help us get out of this economic uncertainty, is by, making Americans be more afraid that the IRS is coming after them, punishing success in America, punishing creating a small business right now in this tough economy that's successful, and if you make more than $400,000 a year in that small business, you've now got to be worried about all these data scientists at the IRS trying to figure out an algorithm to get you to have to pay more money or to scare you into paying more money. What I think is just very unsettling here is that in this memo to Janet Yellen from the IRS commissioner, they say all efforts will be made to comply with your directive, not law, but directive, not to use the resources, the $80 billion, to raise audit rates on small businesses and households making under $400,000 a year relative to historic levels. I mean, a lot of word there. They'll try to comply, is what they're saying. But that's all they say about that.
The Biden administration is back in the seat. They're pouring more money in it. Hopefully the House of Representatives, controlled by the Republicans, is going to claw back some of this money. I don't know. But it worries me very much when I hear the Internal Revenue Service is on the ascent, folks. It's on the rise. $80 billion, 30,000 new employees, 25% increase in size. They're going to try to make us not be audited if we're less than $400,000, but they don't say how. They're an emboldened organization, and what we have to do is keep beating them back. Keep beating them back, or else they are going to engulf us. And don't think they won't. Remember, someone said long ago, the power to tax is the power to destroy. And that's exactly what they're after. The power to destroy those who ideologically don't agree with them. And that's us.
There's no talk about making it more simple for Americans just to comply. Because that's what most people aren't trying to be tax cheats and tax fraud. They're just trying to comply with a very complicated IRS code. And part of that reason, we see all the companies that exist, and these accounting companies and software that exist to try and help you do that. It's its own business. It's its own economy.
89% of all taxes are paid by 25% of Americans, and that the top 10% already pay 74% of total tax payments in the United States. So when they claim they're going after the rich, they are not really going after the rich. They are going after the middle class. They are going after individuals, in my opinion, who are making under $400,000. And they are quite willing to impose greater penalties if they can. And the other issue that's out there, of course, is that the IRS director has suggested that they are quite willing now to hire armed IRS agents.
What they don't tell you, ever, is how they're really not going to go after people who make under $400,000. They're going to do their best to comply with that. Their best to comply is never good enough. I mean, this is an agency. Try to give them a call. I could finish this whole broadcast before you talk to someone. Probably today's and tomorrow's, maybe Wednesdays, before you actually talk to a human being.